And we're live. I completely missed that the timer hit 0. I'm sorry, I was checking out a few things for the stream. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is the first, I think today's the first stream of the month, so welcome to May. Apologies in advance, I will probably be muting the mic a few times. My allergies are absolutely wrecked. I was outside all day yesterday. Before we get into today's stream, I will update everyone on the saga of the drip and irrigation system that is kicking my butt. But first I'll say hi to everybody. So let's see, Dark Third is in the house, Maurice is here, 3D Print Craft UK, Tuxedo, Maganati, hello, Hesios Prince is here, Raj is here today, Sean, how's it going? RS is here, I hope everybody is doing awesome. So before we get into the tool changer build and continuing with this, the ProForge 300, I'm going to update everybody on what's been kicking my butt the last couple of days here. So last Wednesday, I mentioned that I was going to be doing a bunch of irrigation stuff. I'm basically trying to set up drip automation in the backyard for all the garden. And as part of that, it requires me installing a new valve into the sprinkler box underground. So that way I can hook it up to the controller in the garage and have everything be automated. I don't have hose bibs out there that are accessible, and I just wanted to use the existing valves. Now, I have zero experience with irrigation. I've never had to touch it before. Prior to living here, we've always rented, so I've never had a need to mess around with irrigation. And so the first issue I ran into is that for drip, I need like the valve, sorry, my nose is just so itchy. The valve is like this long, the combination of things. It's basically, you have your main pipe, then a T that comes in, then the valve, then a filter for drip, it's like a really fine mesh filter, then a pressure regulator that basically drops the PSI down to 25 PSI, then an adapter to go from 1 inch to 3/4 inch, and then a attachment with a 3/4 inch barb at the end that I attach to the 3/4 inch mainline drip that I can then run out. It is super long, and so the first issue I ran into was it just didn't fit in the sprinkler box, which was a problem. I thought that if I rotated the sprinkler box 90 degrees, so that way it was long ways instead of horizontal, it'd work, but it did not. So Thursday, I discovered that Wednesday when I went out in the backyard, also that I forgot to buy the end clamp pieces to basically terminate each of the main lines. So I ordered that, and I ordered a combination filter and pressure regulator in one, so that way it basically shaved my length in half, or I at least saved like 8 inches. So I ordered that, and it was supposed to come here Saturday. It showed up Monday. So I was like, okay, cool, I got it. Go to install it and realize that the combo, instead of having, so the combo's the same, but the combo has a male 1 inch thread on the end. And I went to 2 hardware stores. They don't have an adapter to go from the 1 inch male to a 3/4 inch male. No, so I needed a 1 inch female to go to a 3/4 inch male. Didn't have it anywhere. So I was like, bummer, that seems like something that they should have. So I looked online, I couldn't even find it online. So then I go and get a larger sprinkler box. It's called Jumbo. It's just huge. And I basically dig out the size for it. And I go to install everything, and I've got leaks everywhere. We have here, speaking of filters, the Evermore filter, worth it. I think that if you don't have a filter and you have, I mean, it's not a whole lot of parts required to build it. It's nice to have. Incompatible male to female components, yes. And so I installed everything last night, and I'm exhausted at this point. I've been out in the sun all day long, just bending over this hole in the ground, you know, trying to get this working, and it's leaking. So here we don't use PVC, it's all polyline. So it's basically poly mainline going into a barb that is threaded into a PVC fitting, like a PVC manifold, and then it goes into the valve. And so it's leaking. And the guy at Home Depot told me that for thread-on-thread fittings, I didn't need to use anything. He's wrong. So I took it all apart and used, which was rough. Getting it apart, the PVC 1 inch mainline is so, not PVC, the poly is so rigid. So it was a pain in the butt to tear the thing off. And then I use plumber's tape and I stop those 2 leaks. And then I see another leak, and so I use more plumber's tape on that, and I sort of kind of get that. But then the final issue now is that where the main line goes into the barb fittings, it is leaking on both sides. And I've used dual pinch clamps, which are basically like, they call them crimp clamps as well. It's sort of like a ring with a little, I don't know, U shape that you use this sort of plier-like tool to grip it, and it pushes that ring together and tightens it around it. And I tightened it as tight as it can go, and it is still leaking. And I, at that point, was like, I don't know what to do. So the next thing I'm going to try is, instead of using pinch clamps, I'm going to add a third clamp. I'm going to leave the pinch clamps in place and try a worm clamp and see if that does it. But oh my gosh, I thought this was going to be a simple project, and I have just been getting absolutely destroyed. It is, it is. But if you're installing a drip feed, is it meant? Funny, Lord Git Face. Did you hot tighten your nozzle? That should eliminate leaks. Yeah, funny. Hey, Matt. So yeah, I haven't felt that defeated in quite a while. It just felt like everything was up against me. And last night when I went to finally test it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this little elbow. I go to the elbow and I'm like, why is there a bunch of wasps around me? And right where I need to be, I found a wasp hive. And I'm just like, the universe is telling me I'm not supposed to do this right now. So we'll see how it goes today. I had to share it with everybody because I talked about it last week, and it has been like irrigation on my mind for the last week. So anyways, now we can get on to 3D printing stuff. So we are continuing with this build. This is the ProForge 300 tool changer. Last week, we did the bearing stacks, we mounted the base, and we did all of the electronics, pretty much all the electronics. It's all the AC, oh, let's move this so I can show anyone that wasn't here. Basically all the AC and DC stuff, the SSRs, the buck converters. I will show you all. Oh, I did a little bit of cleanup as well after the stream. So there's the base. It's just using a bunch of these little VHB style zip tie things. So everything is in. So that was last week. This week, we are going to be moving on to the Z-axis. The order of operations on this is kind of weird. Like, doing the electronics after the frame felt really funky, but that's what it called for, so we did that. So today we are moving on to the Z-axis. The game plan is to get all the Z-rails installed and the bed installed, and I believe wired in, and then hopefully move on to doing some of the sort of main gantry stuff up here. So, sorry for joking, hoping I made you at least... Sorry for joking, hope it made you at least... Oh, no. No, the jokes are good. Oftentimes, when I'm working on a project and things are going incredibly wrong, you have like 2 options, right? Or maybe 3. One is to get super upset. Well, there's quite a few options. You can get upset, you can get frustrated, you can get sad, or you can laugh about it. And I try to laugh about it. It was quite difficult yesterday after spending so much time to laugh about it. Erin saw me and I told her, like, I haven't felt this defeated in so long. But yeah, I can't say I'm a huge fan of plumbing. I had my fair share of mishaps when I was young and inexperienced. Yeah, I did a lot of research last night, and a lot of people seem to not really like polytubing, especially not for the manifold. A lot of people say to use PVC for all the manifold and then basically go into poly, but polytubing is what the original people that did the irrigation for the house used. So I mirrored what they did, anticipating that if this has been working and I copy it, surely it will work. But I must have done something incorrectly or just didn't tighten it enough. So most of those lead to more mistakes and painful consequences. Yes. Hey, Delmar. He's naughty. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the build. I will pull up really quickly the instructions. So I did pull out a lot of the main parts we're gonna need. So the first thing it says to do is to take the rails out, and that there are basically 4 350mm rails, but the 3 we want to have the hole closest to the end. So I already made sure I grabbed the correct 3 ones. And it says to lubricate the rails. So what we are going to do is bring this down, try to just get like a kind of far, I'll probably turn off autofocus because this rail, here, let's bring you guys a little bit further over here, like that. And then I think I will turn off, that seems like that'll work. I'll turn off autofocus. and make sure that this area is, yeah, that looks pretty good. So here in Canada, it's all PEX. In the ground they use PEX? I thought PEX was typically for like plumbing inside of the house. I didn't see much with PEX for outside irrigation. Yeah, there's so many options with plumbing. I mean, you've got, you know, PVC, and then you can go with threads or slip joints. You've got polytubing, which, you know, you've got polytubing, but then for polytubing, there's all sorts of connectors. You've got barbed connectors, which is what I'm using. You've got like proprietary, like, or patented stuff like shark bite, where you basically just insert it and there's some teeth to grab onto it. I haven't used that stuff yet. I'm sure it's great. It's a little more expensive, but I just kind of wanted to learn with the basics. We'll see. I'm hoping that next week I have a little bit more good news to share regarding that. I'm leaving next Thursday for my cousin's wedding in Chicago, and I've got family coming, staying here to watch Jackson and the doggies. So I really wanted to have all that done before they left, so they didn't have to do much manual watering of gardens. Let me get my scissors. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just I'm hurting both physically from just pulling and twisting pipe, and mentally hurting a little bit as well. Shark bite is good. I need it. Is a good I need it now solution. Yeah, I didn't see much bad when it came to shark bite. Considering it's my first go, I feel like I've given it a really solid try. It's not for lack of effort. I've certainly tried, like, I've done a lot of research online, and I feel like I've done a lot of the right things. Aaron was asking me last night, like, you know, what point do we call out a professional? And I'm like, I was like, I told her I'm not there yet. I'm not, like, I believe I can do this. I told her too, though, like, I have no real issue with failing. It's kind of my thing. It's how I've learned so much over the years. So like, failing is the best way to learn things, and as long as it's obviously something that's not incredibly dangerous. For the sake of the water, I just turned off the main line when I went to bed because it was a slow leak, or a slow drip, not, you know, gushing out water, but I still was like, I don't want to leave this. It's sort of up against the house, and I just don't want a bunch of water near the foundation. But I don't mind failing. The thing that gets me is when things don't work and you have a list of things to try and you've sort of exhausted that list. That's where I was last night before I was realizing that maybe my clamps are the issue, because basically, so you have like poly on both sides going into this barb and a barb that goes into this PVC thing. And the threads seem fine now. It's just the barb with the clamps that are leaking. And I'm able to grab the entire like filter, valve, and drip line coming off of it. And I'm able to basically tilt it like this. And that doesn't seem right to me. I would think that if the clamps were holding hard enough on the barbs, I should feel quite a bit of resistance when I try to turn it like that. So I'm hoping it's just the clamps. But again, like once I've exhausted all of the things I can think of, that's when I start to get a little frustrated and uncertain of what to do. So we're gonna grease these. I'm just gonna try to shoot a bunch of grease inside. Let's see how this goes. Okay, it's got a lot of grease. But yeah, failure to me is a big part of just learning, and I'm fine with that. It's just when I ran out of things. I got gloves on. We should have some grease music. Oh, come on, baby. That's the last one. There should still be more grease in here, I would think. I know last time it took quite a bit of force to, oops. Okay, that feels like maybe I'm just out of grease. Nope, not out of grease. Cool. Okay. I don't think these have any preload. There's grease now, so it'll take a while to work it in, but when I was playing around with these. I took out one yesterday just to get a feel for how the rails felt, and they are really smooth. My only complaint about SharkBite is that they are only rated for 20 years of use. At this point, I would take 20 years of use, but I get it. It'd be nice to have something that you can just sort of hopefully have an almost indefinite amount of life. I didn't know that they were rated for 20 years of use. Yeah, I have another irrigation issue too that's not related to me that I discovered. That's from the original irrigation people, where a valve is just not behaving the way it should, and I've replaced pretty much everything on it and it's still not working, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's grease lightning. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the sort of excess grease and just sort of rub it on the rail. How's everybody's month going so far? How's everyone's May? I can't believe it's freaking May. It's crazy. Hey Jose, I use SharkBite fittings for the copper airline in my shop. It works fine, no leaks. Did you answer me, Tuxedo, about... Oh, there we go. There's a type of PEX certified for exterior use. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think that's super common in the States. I know that in California, I'd never heard of... Granted, like, you know, like I said, I rented always, so I didn't have much reason to play around with any sort of irrigation, but I know that, like, at my parents'... or at my house growing up, you know, my parents' house, it was all PVC, and I think that's relatively standard in California. But here it seems like oh, I shouldn't have touched this with greasy gloves. In Idaho, it seems like poly is the go-to, which I don't fully understand. I think it's maybe something to do with freezing, but we have our sprinklers have to be blown out every season anyway, so it's a little odd to me that, like, I don't see why it would matter. If you're getting it blown out, then it shouldn't really have to be freeze tolerant, but what do I know? What do I know? I'm sure there's a reason. Okay, so I'm going to take my gloves off. I accidentally bought the heavy-duty gloves. They're much thicker and much longer. I feel kind of more official than my usual thin nitrile gloves. Okay, throwing those into the trash just because I don't want grease all over the ground. Okay. Boom. Each rail should, yep, slide the carriage over the rail, yep, grease, yep. For this platform stage, we need to select the rails that have been cut with the mounting holes. The remaining is for the gantry, as its mounting holes are 15 millimeters from the edge. Awesome. Okay, so now we're prepping these, and it threw me off for a second because I was looking for printed parts, but these are CNC parts. So these little rail holders are... Am I too close? Yeah, there we go. These little anodized aluminum pieces. So we are going to prep these. Zoom in a little bit. Hey Lisa! Been good so far. Got a notification from somewhere yesterday confirming dispatch. Nice! And then I got a text from FedEx about a shipment they have for me, which I'm assuming is from Polymaker. Nice. Are you in the States, Hasio? Did you have to pay anything extra? I've seen some pretty ridiculous posts from people about upcharges due to tariffs. Like, I saw someone that, what was it? Like, the price of the item that they were buying was $1,100, but then the price with tariffs was like $3,400. Okay, so we are using M510 button heads. I think I took these out to prep for this. I did. And then T-nuts. We just need, it looks like 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey! Is it Kadeorn? Kadeorn? Happy Wednesday. Just done designing and prototyping an air suck system for Mercedes C-Class drifting car. Wow. Is that day job related things then? Or is that hobby? All right, so it looks like button head goes in here, and then we'll just thread these on a couple of times. probably too much, but we'll start with that. Oops. I saw that bamboo printers got more expensive in the US in the past few weeks. Yeah, I haven't looked. I know that because I have the H2D, and I know that when I got it, it was a certain price. They did send it. It's the printer version with the AMS2 Pro, not the laser version, which I was happy about because I basically told them it's not something I'm interested in. So, but yeah, I did see it at a certain price, and I want to say it went up. Does anyone know how much it went up? I want to say it was somewhere between $300 to $500 approximately. And it country on manufacturer, not where it's shipped from. Oh, even a Canadian purchase with China goods will have a China. No kidding. So there's no, you can't get around it if you import it from somewhere else. Steve, happy, what's today? Wednesday. That's right. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for membership, man. How are you doing, Steve? I wish, Steve, that you could have heard me ranting about my troubles in irrigation land, man. Irrigation is just wrecking me. If I could teleport you here, I feel like you would have had some other things to check out, but I'm hoping that I can figure out something. Okay, so fix the Z-rail mounts onto two long, wait, fix the Z-rail mount assemblies. Okay, on 2 of them, fix one hole. If you plan to install the enclosure, take a look at the next step regarding positioning. If you're installing the enclosure, adjust the position of this rail mount by moving the hole up 1. Okay, so up 1 on one of them. So we're doing third hole and third hole on 1, and then second hole and third hole on 1. And these are M36 cap heads. Ships post-tariff are now arriving. It will be another 30 days till the consumer sees it. Okay, got it. Hey, RH3D, how's it going? Most stuff I buy from China, they tend to undervalue it. It's like clear UK customs. And oh, gotcha, you're in the UK. There have been times where they have also valued things at full price and it gets through. Got it. I've had similar with not China, but Japan, where some things I'm like, that should have been tariffed, but it wasn't, and I am not upset. Then other times where it's like, oh no, UPS, when it clears, usually I ship with the UPS for international, and it, I have to pay, well, either I can pay them in advance through like the email portal, or I get a letter in the mail saying you have, it's usually a pretty quick, like, I think last time I got one in the mail, it was like, you have, like 5 days to pay for this. It's not like, oh, you have 30 to 60 days. Like, no, it's like, give us the money now. HUD no laser combo's gone up 500. Okay, so yeah, I knew it was somewhere in 300 to 500 range, or at least I thought it was. I've done the same for the Volvo 240 as well not long ago. They'll put my logo on the tracks when I get one. That's sick. If I get one. I just had a meeting explaining what the tariffs are doing to the cost of our server purchases from Dell. That was less than fun. Yeah, that sounds not fun at all. Hey Joe, for Prague Maker Fair, so I'm lacking enough sleep time these days. Are you gonna have a booth there then? That's awesome. Okay, so does it matter orientation? I would think not really. So at least for the first one. So this is going. Have you gone to any of the other maker fairs? I'm wondering if I should Loctite these. I'm not Loctiting the hammer bolts or the T-nuts, but I wonder if I should Loctite these. It is, if Steve was here, he would say metal. Well, Steve is here, but if he was, he was on this stream with me, he'd probably say metal on metal on metal. We'll use a little bit of Loctite. Is this already open? Doesn't look like it. I think you're supposed to shake this too, right? By cutting just the tip. Oh, that looks like that worked. Pretty sure you're supposed to shake Loctite. Oh. Hey, Beads. This is my first time ever using blue Loctite. I'm a little scared. It says, okay, it says medium strength. That's a little less intimidating. I think it's the red stuff that, the red stuff is the no coming out without flame. Oh, I'm gonna get grease on my fingers, I just realized, so that'll be fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and, whoops. This is a little awkward. So I feel like this probably needs to be at a perfect 90-degree angle with this. So I'm a little curious as to how that's gonna play or pan out. So let's leave them sort of loose for now. Yeah, do the other one. Hey, nice. Yes, I will be, I'll have a booth there. I was last year on 2 Maker Fairs, so I couldn't miss Prague this year. Which one did you go to last year? Have you gone to any in the States? Okay, so that one's on. And then for the other one, we said we needed one of them to be, let's see, so how are these mounting? These are mounting, okay, so it's mounting like this. So we will do this one on this side, like this. And the other one, okay, so this one needs to be 2 from the, wait, like that, okay. Oh no. I ideally don't want Loctite all over my hands. Oh no. And it's all over my hands. Nice! Thank you for the gift of memberships, man. Give me 1 sec here and I will do some sound effects. Let me just try to get this one in. So much for not getting grease all over my hands. There we go. Okay, that one's in. Let me do some sound effects here. Thank you, nice. I really appreciate the support, man. Also, while I'm thinking about it, and I know it's just the first stream of the month, but let me do 5 memberships as well. Let's see. Membership gifting. Send 5. There we go. There we go. Hey, any updates, nice, on the Magneto? There's not a lot of Loctite. There we go. Ooh, completely unrelated. But when we first moved into this house a year ago, I bought a pressure washer because we were doing some epoxy. We were epoxying the garage, and so my plan was to pressure wash it, but then I found out afterwards it wasn't necessary since it was a brand new slab. So I didn't end up using it, but I finally cleared all the soil in the garage, or in the driveway, after like 3 weeks, and there was stains everywhere. So like, you know what? I'm gonna bust out this pressure washer. And I gotta say, if you've never used a pressure washer, you are missing out. It was way too much fun. A little bit tiring, like the back pressure, maybe just, I don't know, from working with irrigation, but my hand was a little bit sore from holding down the trigger. But man, it was more fun than I think I could have anticipated. Not yet. I sent them an email on Monday. Okay, got it. Hey, Steven. Okay, fix the Z-rails. Let's see. Fix the Z-rail mount into the assemblies. Got it. Fix onto 2 holes in the edge of the rail. Got it. If you plan to install the enclosure, we did that. If you're installing the enclosure, new position. Okay, so I've got a question for everyone. Since these little aluminum brackets are holding our rails, I imagine we want them to be at a 90, right? What are my, like, what should I be using to make sure this is at a 90? It's at a weird angle too, so I'm not really sure. Like, if I take a 1, 2, 3 block, oops, there we go. I mean, I could do it like that. That maybe will work. I just don't really have a whole lot of ideas on this. Isn't the bracket supposed to be on the third hole of the rail? Yeah, except for one of them. It's on the third hole of the rail, but it says here on this one, if you're installing the enclosure, adjust the position of the rail mount by moving it one hole up on the rail. It looks like it's just the top. Oh, you can't see. Yeah, so it's saying that for this one, if you're using the enclosure, to move it up one, but the other ones are all 3 away. Yeah, if you're installing the enclosure, adjust the position of the rail mount by moving it up one. This allows room for the enclosure door hinge. I know I'm in queue for their technicians. Nice, okay. Yeah, keep me updated on that, man. I think I'm just gonna try that for now. Basically, just setting it on here. And I don't think this is ideal by any means. I don't have a whole lot of, no, that's definitely not ideal. What if I go like this? There's no mention of like aligning this. We're just gonna try it like that and see if we run into binding issues. I don't know at this point. Hey Troy, how's it going? Hey Clownhammer, if you just showed up. Yeah, you did just show up. How's it going? Yeah, we're just gonna go like this for now and see how it goes. I'm gonna also probably grab some Allen keys to tighten this a little bit more because I don't think I'm getting a very good grip on this with my little ball end driver. That's definitely yeah, we'll try it like that. Okay. It's about as good of an idea as I've got. Let me grab my little Allen keys here. Oh. Let's grab this one more time. See if I can add just a tiny bit more. They're pretty tight. Those are pretty tight. I don't think that's super straight. But I don't know if it's just maybe it's just the machining. I don't know. We'll see. I don't love this. I wish there was a recommendation for how you're supposed to do this, but the instructions don't really say anything. They just say to install it, so. I imagine we can adjust this later, and maybe it's going to have us move the bed up and down and use that to sort of align this. I really don't know. Okay. Okay, we'll go with that. Last time it took 5 days to send me a solution, and good 2 weeks to 3 weeks for me is acceptable as downtime. Hobby user mostly. Gotcha. Instructions unclear. Got hot end clogged. I tightened my Z rails and now my hot end's clogged. Okay, mounting to the frame. Mount the rails onto the side of the frame as shown, above 20 millimeters above the frames. Wait, 20 millimeters above the frames. Okay, got it. So let's just start by here. Let me move you guys a little bit. Back you guys out a little bit. Oh, a little too far. It's hard to see what's truly in focus here. Is that about in focus? That seems about right. Okay, so this one's going here. I think for now we'll just sort of get things seated. All right, let's try that again. It's because it's at an angle. It's a little bit funky. Okay, let's just hold it like this, and we'll get probably 2.5 millimeter driver. Nope, that's not right. I don't have a 3 millimeter apparently. There we go. Okay. Huh. Interesting. That feels like it shouldn't be that bendy. That makes me think it's not aligned. I feel like it should not have that resistance. We'll see. Maybe it'll have us loosen them later. I really don't know. We shall see. Okay, so that one's on. I'll get both of them on and then I'll worry about... Oops. You know what? This is silly. Instead of doing this, I should just move the printer. It's a lot easier because the camera is on all sorts of... Maybe leave the rail screws loose, tighten the frame screws first, and then tighten the rail screws. That might not be a bad idea. Let's try that. I mean, I've got no better ideas right now, so that seems like as good of an idea as any. So let's... Yeah, you know what? That makes a lot more sense. Because if these are... Yeah, let's try that. Tuxedo. So let's loosen you. Let's loosen you. I'm just gonna loosen everything really quick again. It does have a little side... It does have a little play still. Yeah, there's a little bit of... Definitely a little bit of wobble. We'll see. I feel like if this was incredibly important, they would have more instructions on it, but they don't, so... Okay, let's move... Oh. Let's move this like this. And kind of just have you guys right here. Is that sort of in focus? Yeah, sort of. Okay, I'm gonna loosen those as well then. Yeah, this is definitely a different way of mounting rails. I don't think I've ever used standoffs like this before, so I'm a little uncertain. So let's just get this in here. Okay. I mean, this has left and right play as well. So maybe what I can do is once I finally go to tighten these, I'll just kind of push them into the rail and assume that the rail's at a 90 degrees. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's start by... Let's start by tightening. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to push both top and bottom inward. So that way they should be hopefully favoring the same side of the rail, exactly the same, or at least closer than not doing that. So pushing this inward like this. Okay, tighten it a hair more. Okay, let's do the same for this side. So these are still loose, yeah. So I'm gonna push them like towards the front. Okay. So now it's saying it wants the rails, or was it the rails or the rail stops to be? Okay, so it wants the rails to be roughly 20 millimeters. I think I measured this, it says approximately 20 millimeters, and I think I measured this little machinist square at like 19.6. So I might just roll with that to at least have them the exact same. I would think that for a Z, having it, I don't know, a third of a millimeter off probably isn't that big of a deal, as long as it's not going to inhibit travel. So, is she that? I need to push plastic. Oh God.
For the Taco Tuesday fund.
Andrew, thank you so much for the Taco Tuesday fund. Funny enough, I had, words are tough. I had Taco Bell yesterday for the first time in a really long time, which I'm fully aware isn't like a real, like isn't, I don't know if it counts as taco, like it did have a taco, but I realized that it's not quality tacos. But I hadn't had Taco Bell in a really long time. We were running around doing irrigation stuff. I was really frustrated and I was like, I need food. So, okay, what I'm gonna do is, let me measure this again one more time to make sure it's at least like what I thought it was, which was 16 or 19, let's see. Yeah, so it's like 19.6 millimeters thick. So we're 0.4 off. I don't think for the Z-axis that's a big deal, because really as long as the height's the same and we're not running into travel limitations, which I would think that they would not make it that close, we're gonna call that good. So I'm basically going to loosen the two T-nuts. Okay, let's not have it fall out. Okay, lovely. Lovely. Okay. So I'm just gonna set, it's setting down on the block now, and I'm applying same inward pressure, so hopefully that the T-nuts are favoring the same side of the extrusion, or like up against the extrusion as much as they can be. Wait, it is Wednesday. So I did have tacos on Taco Tuesday. Dang it. I didn't even question it. That's hilarious. Okay. All right, that is scratching my block just a little bit. Okay, I'm calling that good enough. That looks like it twisted correctly. That looks like it twisted correctly. Cool. Let's do the same thing to this side. Oh my God, Taco Tuesday on a Wednesday. I am a big taco fan, so I'm I'm all for Taco Wednesday. Okay, this is awkward. This is so awkward for me because I'm trying to show the camera what's going on. Let's try this. So we'll loosen you. Okay, give me my driver. We'll loosen you. Okay, drop you down. And then I'm doing the same thing. I'm pushing it towards the front. So that way, hopefully they're the same distance. Or at least as close as I can get it. Okay, it seems like that's fine. Please give me my ball. There we go. Okay, that's plenty tight. Okay. I feel relatively good about that. Any ideas for food for Wednesday other than watermelon? Watermelon Wednesdays? Wiener Schnitzel Wednesdays? Although I haven't, like, Aaron's not a big hot dog fan, and I don't know that I love hot dogs, but summertime barbecuing, like, an occasional hot dog sounds pretty good. So I was craving hot dogs, and last week I made some, and it jacked up me, Aaron, and Jackson, all of our stomachs. So I will not be doing hot dogs for a while. It was a good reminder why I don't do hot dogs all that often. Okay, so we've got that done. Now it says preparing the third rail. So for this one, we are just using the last of the MGN9 350s. We need 3 M3 8mm, which I've got. Put these out here, 1, 2, and 3. And then we need some T-nuts. Are they in here, perhaps? Yes, they are. Wiener Wednesday. Well, that does mean we can have corn dogs, which is absolutely, corn dogs are up there as far as one of Jackson's favorite meals. We have the what's the company with the rooster, like the brand? Is it Farmer John's? Is that right? But we have the mini corn dogs, and Jackson has those a couple times a week. It's like when he won't eat anything, it's the one thing consistently that he'll eat. Okay, so it looks like for this one, we want, let's move you guys back over here. A lot of musical chairs today. It's just a little awkward with the printer frame. I was debating on putting the printer frame on the ground for this, but I don't really have a whole lot of space around me to put it on the ground, so. Okay, so we're doing, it looks like 2 from the top, 2 from the bottom. No, not Trader Joe's. It's like Farmer John's. Hold on. Farmer John's. Oh no, it's gotta be Foster Farms. Foster Farms mini corn dogs. Yeah, these are the ones. These are the ones. This is Jackson's. This is his go-to. Mini corn dogs, man. And he's a sauce kid. He'll dip his hand in ketchup and eat it like it's candy. So it's mini corn dogs with about as much ketchup as we can, as much ketchup as we can justify giving him is his sort of current favorite one. Hey, Mike. Tequila Tuesday. Oh, tequila almost my whole life is the one alcohol where I'm like, I don't really mess with tequila. I'm not an angry person, but tequila does, I don't know, it's weird, man. The occasional margarita I can do, like a classic margarita on the rocks with a salted rim and some lime. I can get down with that, but I don't drink very much at all anymore. Like if I'm going to an event or something like that and afterwards everyone's going out, I'll have a couple drinks, and every once in a while here I will as well. But in my early 20s when I was working at a bar, and even through my I don't know, party phase, I did. But yeah, now, because I'm always working on projects and I really enjoy working on projects, a lot of it requires so much critical thinking, at least I think it does, I just can't really drink. And also my body doesn't like it, man. My stomach, it jacks up, and I hate the way I feel the next day, so. Hey, Sven. Yeah, Margarita Mondays I can probably get down with. We're doing Whiskey Wednesday. Oh, I do like an occasional whiskey too. My dad's been talking to me for a while that we need to get a nice whiskey and some cigars, so. Top shelf Añejo tequila, avoid the cheap stuff. Maybe that's my issue. It's always been relatively cheap stuff. So, okay, so I've got the two, where's our, here we go. So the other one is going in hole, so that was 2, 3, I can't tell, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like hole 9. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like just sort of choose your own adventure, because there's two 9s. I don't think it matters. Just one in the center basically is what it's saying. Today it was enchiladas. Nice. That sounds yummy. Sounds really yummy. I don't think this kit came with any rail alignment jigs, so that's going to be another interesting thing. Is I don't think I've got any jigs for this, unless I wonder if, let's see, what is this stuff? This is all from the build I did with Steve on Tic Tac, which I don't think used any of those. But you know what? Let me see. The build Steve and I did. No, the rails would be way too big. What am I saying? This could maybe work on, let's see. Nope, that's wires. That's Prusa stuff. That's Prusa stuff. Don't know what that is. That is box turtle stuff. That is LDO. There's positron stuff. That is MMU3 stuff. Wait, what are these? Could this be what we need? Could this be what we need? That seems right. And that seems right. Sick. All right. I don't know what build these are from, but we've got them. Is there another one? I'll take 3. There is 3. Cool. Oh, this is from, okay, this is from Doron. All right. So, we've got that. We've got that. Mount the Z rail to the rear. The rail should self-align. I don't know if I agree with that, but... And it should be flush with the top of the extrusion is what it's saying. Okay. I can do that. All right, so let's go ahead and... Yeah, let's go ahead and install this. Let's see, let's try like this, maybe. Bring you guys a little further out. Are we in focus? Sure looks like it. Okay. Okay, where's my block? It looks like it pretty much just aligns. No, it can go down a hair. Okay, that seems about right. Only 3? It's not a lot of mounting points. But it's what the instructions say, so let's build it as it is. Nothing too fancy. I like simple bullet. Oh, bullet rye is pretty good. Yeah, bullet rye is pretty good. I've definitely had some of that with my pops. It's like a good, like, not bottom, you know, grade stuff, but not crazy expensive. I think I don't know if it was for Father's Day some years ago or it was my dad's birthday, but I know I got him like Johnny Walker, one of the nicer ones from Johnny Walker, and that stuff was really good. But that's definitely, that didn't feel like it tightened correctly. I'm gonna back this one out. I don't know why it felt like it didn't turn correctly. Let's loosen this, loosen this, loosen this, loosen this, loosen this, loosen this, loosen this. I don't know why it doesn't feel like it's tightening right. I'm gonna loosen, okay, I'm gonna undo this. Just because I want to see whether I am wrong or whether I'm not wrong. Okay, I think that I was wrong. That feels still very tight. It all feels, why does it all feel tight? I loosen these. Okay, no, it's definitely, it's tightened, so. Okay, I'm gonna loosen it because I'd rather tighten from center. I don't know how much it matters with how much of a gap this has, but let's loosen this again. Okay, now it's definitely loose. that did tighten correctly. That's tightened, and then we'll just assume this one's fine because it seems like it worked fine. When am I starting it? We're gonna do it right after this build series, so I don't know how long this will take. I really don't know. I imagine we've probably got another month on this. Like, I would think there's probably 4 more streams, just given that it's a tool changer, so there's gonna be multiple tool heads, and then, excuse me, I at least want to do like 1 multicolor print to make sure that the tool changing is working correctly, and then we'll go into it. I know they just sent me a message saying they need to send me some new parts if I haven't built it yet, and they just sent me a photo of what parts they're sending, and it looks like some Wegos, some printed parts, some nylon shims, some bearings. Oh, and fuses! Fuses! So yes, that was one of my biggest complaints, was that I'd heard from someone that there were no fuses. And I don't like that, especially on 4 AC beds. So I don't know if they just got the feedback from someone, or if they were like, oh, we're missing kind of an important safety thing, but it looks like they are having fuses now. What method does the ProForge use for nozzle alignment? So initially I was thinking that maybe it was like a visual thing, but I don't know where the part is in here, but they basically have a CNC part with what I believe is a limit switch, like just a mechanical switch, with a metal ball. And so I believe what it does is it'll go and I think probe it from the top for Z and then go to the sides for X and Y. So I think it's automatic using a metal ball and limit switch, or switch. But what I don't know, because I don't think that Clipper has that natively built in, and this is running Clipper, so I'm curious if it's just a custom macro they set up or how they sort of implemented that. But yeah, I believe it's just a mechanical ball switch thing, so we shall see. Okay, so we're good there. Adjust the extrusion position so that it lines up with the shaft. Loosen the bolts to be able to slide the extrusion. No need to be 100% precise. The coupling will adjust for it. So from my perspective, the extrusion is absolutely shifted to the right. So we will loosen the 4 T-nuts. We'll loosen the 4 T-nuts here. Voron has no, okay, so you think it was Voron, like just giving him feedback? I'm shocked that, honestly, like, I mean, I don't think I have to really say much about it when I do a final video on it, because it'll be done by the time I get it, but I'm shocked that that wasn't something that was already there. It feels like a very obvious thing that you need to have on AC beds. I just got a message on being sent the same parts. Nice, awesome. I'm happy to hear that. It should have been there from the beginning, but I'm happy that they're, oh shit. Did I strip that? I hope not. Let's try with an Allen key. Oh no. I think I will replace that screw. Okay, that one's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna replace this single screw. I did not like that. Yeah, let's not start ourselves off with a stripped screw or a. So this is, what is this? This is an M5. I think all the M5 stuff is out here. I believe it's an M5-8. put this one off to the side so that way I don't accidentally use it. It was probably my fault. I didn't realize it was stuck that hard, but I shouldn't have used a ball to do it. So what I'll end up doing with these, since I don't know where my Fabrico driver is I will start it with the ball and then use an Allen key to do the final tightening. So can we slide now? Yeah, we can. Okay, so we definitely need to slide it this way. Let's see, where is their instructions? Exact distances. Oh, I see, okay. I see why we did this wrong. I made the assumption, which I've done a couple times in the last 48 hours. I told Erin, I was ranting, she has to hear my rants, but I was telling her like about an assumption I made yesterday that bit me, and why that the phrase of, you know, if you making an assumption makes an ass out of you and me still holds true. And I know this, but I have to remind myself this. I made an assumption that the Z extrusion would be centered with the frame. That is not the case. That is why it wasn't. That is why it was not perfectly aligned with the motor. If you look here, it's 230.5 on the right side and 220.5 on the left side. So I need to see if I can figure out where my ruler is. It should be hanging right here on this hook, and it's not. It's a big ruler. I'm gonna do one quick little pan of my, oh, here it is on the ground. I was like, it can't be far, this thing's huge. Okay, so like, it's hard to lose this, even for me. Button heads, just what Taylor was saying. Oh, did you have an issue with his? The hex cavity is shallower on button heads, so you have to be more careful when torquing. Got it, that makes a lot of sense. If the hex is slightly stripped, you can use a Torx to get it out. Okay, so this is saying approximately, what did I say it was? 230. I don't love this because I can't get it. Oh, there we go. That'll work. Well, technically it said 230.5, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that feels pretty dang close. So I'm going to secure that at least a little bit. Double check that it hasn't shifted when I tighten it. Oh, I just realized that I look silly. This is the angle I wanted to show, not me finishing. Yeah, I should probably also invest Tuxedo in a new set of these ball end drivers. I've had them for now 3.5 or 4 years, and they have seen a lot of abuse. Now, I'm calling that good enough. And then let's see on the top. That looks pretty good. I'm just gonna tighten it and call it good enough for now. Okay, so I am going to use my little Allen keys to get a little bit more leverage on these, just because I don't want these to shift, and I'm scared to use the ball driver now, so let's just quickly, yeah, give me a little bit more leverage. Let's do the same for here. Okay. How is Taylor's build going? Because I know he's further than me. I saw the other day that he was, I think, putting the tool heads on. Is he printing it or is he still working on it? That's good. And the final one. There we go. Okay, I'm calling that good enough. If I look at it from the front, it still doesn't look aligned to me, man. It said 230.5. It says no need to be 100% precise. The Olam couplers is built to handle misalignment. But maybe it's, let's see, if I stand in the center. Okay, maybe that is pretty aligned. I don't know. I'm looking at this and touching the edge of this extrusion. I'm at like 230.5, almost exact. Yeah, I'm gonna, wait, is it slightly angled? No, I'm calling that good enough. It's like right on where it should be. So I think it's just, I think my mind's playing with me. He's faster than you. Well, I don't doubt that. He also started it, I think a month before me, so. But yeah, I don't doubt. Yeah, he built the V0 in a day. He's definitely faster than me. I think build is complete, but he has a firmware gotcha. I'm curious to see how the firmware is. He paused to build I saw the photo of his Venture XL. It looks like such a monster. Okay, so now we are going to be fixing 3 CNC parts. I've got those 3 parts right here, 1, 2, and 3. And this is with M3/8. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. I had some plastic with Loctite on it, and it's no longer on my desk. Oh, here it is. It's underneath the machine. Okay. Okay, let's get a new piece of plastic. That scared me. I was picturing that the Loctite had fallen probably face down onto my carpet, which didn't happen, so that's good. Okay, here's another little bit of plastic, a little baggy. And we need for this, it looks like M3/8. Lots and lots of M3/8. So 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Boom. Black smoke, no pope today. Okay, so these are the little CNC parts we're using. They're here. Let's do a closer shot. These are really nice. The anodizing on these look really good. Okay, so we are doing, it looks like this is the way forward with the big opening facing downward. So it's gonna go like that. Let's get some more Loctite. Okay. That is cross-threading, I think. That seems okay. Okay. My Main Madness conclave bracket is still perfect. What is that? What does that mean? just gonna loosely insert them and then I'll tighten them all down. I posted our amount with the venture in your Discord. What channel? I'll take a look at it right now. They've already been streaming for over an hour. That's wild. That's wild. It always blows my mind how fast stream day goes by. Build logs? Okay. Have you got much experience with the Dragon Burner toolhead? If so, would you say it's better than the V0 over the mini stealth burner? So I have the Dragon Burner in one of my V0s, this Cyborg one that's right behind me. I actually did a full video on it. If you haven't watched the video, I would definitely check it out. I like the Dragon Burner better than the mini stealth burner. Things I remember is it's easier to troubleshoot if you need to, like the extruder is accessible externally. You have better cooling because you have bigger fans, and you have cool, I think you have LEDs on the other one too as well, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the Dragon Burner. I would say that if someone asked me, hey, would you rather have mini stealth burner or Dragon Burner, I'd be going with Dragon Burner. I think it's a really nice toolhead. Not that the V0 mini stealth burner is not, but I really like the Dragon Burner. I just figured it'd be funny to compare the Pepple section conclave to NCAA basketball. Nice. Okay, let's take a look at your build log. Oh, it uses nudge. That's what you were talking about, Delmar. I didn't know what the heck you were talking about when you said nudge. I thought you meant like to nudge something. I didn't realize it was actually a thing. Where are build logs? Build logs, server reaction rules, resin, favorite 3D models, hardware, build log. Venture Excel. Oh, wow. Here is, that is looking really freaking good. What are your initial impressions so far based off getting to this point? That looks really good, man. Yeah, great job. Also, how many hours do you think you've put in to get to this point? The instructions need a whole lot of work. I have 3 solid days in so far, and oh no. What are you stuck on? Like if you had to, I mean, if you're stuck, maybe you don't know what you're stuck with exactly, but if you had to describe it, like what's the issue? Instructions are always the most difficult part out of everything. Like, not that making a thing is not difficult, but explaining to someone else how to make that thing is such a challenge. I think Steve has it on his truck. Oh, cool. Okay. They did open up the mini stealth burner so the O2 one release so it flows better. Nice. Are you going to some shows this year, Delmar? Yeah, documentation can make or break something. Like as far as accessibility goes, it is so incredibly important, and I feel like most companies sort of, I don't know, just could do a better job with it. I'm not saying it's easy. Like I said, it's very difficult, but I do think that from a standpoint of accessibility and having more people build the thing, having really good instructions, and taking feedback on the instructions and how they can be improved further is sort of mandatory for a project to succeed and do well. Going to Rocky Mountain Rust next week. Not sure about 3D Printopia later this year. Got 2 dragsters. Nice. That's awesome. I need the thermal. Okay, gotcha. Thermal pieces. The tool head is not fitting together correctly using their boards. I keep getting a huge gap at the top. Interesting. It is just using a modified stealth burner, right? Is the gap between the front faceplate of the stealth burner and sort of the body of the extruder? I've had issues with that before as well, actually. I don't know what build it was. I think maybe it was my switch wire, but I always had a little bit of a gap. But it sounds like you probably have a bigger gap than if you're concerned with it. If you have not smacked the like button, please do. I don't know what we're at. I haven't looked today, but it's my first time mentioning it. We've got nice 110 people and yeah, 42 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It just takes a second. Hey Kevin. Oh, yeah, I did just put my finger right where the Loctite was coming out. That wasn't smart. I think that might have been the last. Nope, that was not the last track. Hey Rob, happy Wednesday, man. Happy first Wednesday of May. Okay, that's the last one. Okay. These will, once the grease sort of wears in, these will slide a bit better. Have you made any progress on the V2? You said you were looking at going all-wheel drive or quad XY. Did I say that? I don't remember saying that. I thought it was the Trident that we were going to be doing that with. We were talking about the monolith on the Trident. The 2.4 I don't really have any plans for other than still correcting the cable management and tuning the box turtle. I'm hoping to have a video on that in the next month here, so I really need to get that figured out. But yeah, no, 2.4 is like the one printer where I'm not doing a bunch of crazy stuff to. Okay, we have got those parts on. And then it says fix to the underneath of the carriages from the previous step 3 brackets. Okay. I'm gonna mute real quick just so I can blow my nose. It's been pretty good considering how bad it was this morning, but still, allergies are a little bit iffy. Well, I was talking a lot and don't know what everyone missed. Someone asked if it was allergies. I said yes. I was doing irrigation stuff, getting destroyed by irrigation stuff, and then I pressure washed the driveway yesterday because I had a bunch of dirt that from the soil I had dumped there. And when I went to use the leaf blower to clean things up in the end, like dust, I went and cleared the leaves and stuff by the front door, and during that process angled things really poorly, and so it basically shot all the leaves, dust, cobwebs, everything directly up into the air, and it rained down on me. So yeah, I'm bad allergies. Sorry about that. So I'm trying to see how good everyone is at lip reading. So far not great, it doesn't seem. Okay, so this one looks like it is mirrored, so it doesn't matter which direction it goes. So we're just going to, you know what, I'll start with just finger tightening. Yeah, start with just finger tightening. So put a little bit of Loctite on you, put you through there. That was actually quite a lot of Loctite. And then just threading this on a couple turns. Neti Pot. I've heard such good things about Neti Pot. I will say that I've always had allergies, and prior to moving to Idaho, Claritin did a pretty good job for like my pet allergies. But here, the seasonal allergies seem to be, my seasonal allergies are much more aggressive. And so Claritin does absolutely nothing. And I did find a nasal spray that's kind of been a miracle worker for me, but I ran out of it and was waiting on a prescription refill. It's actually just over-the-counter stuff, but since we pay for insurance, I think it's pretty much free with the insurance, but I have to get the prescription. So I finally got it, and I did use some before the stream, so I think that that's definitely helping as far as making me feel better, but it's not an instant thing. But yeah, I've heard good things about Neti Pot. I've heard from a few people it can be kind of weird, like, I don't know if it was nosebleeds or what exactly some of the side effects could be, but for the most part, I've heard really good things about just a Neti Pot. Okay, this one's tight. I think that we finally finished that playlist. No, we didn't. I'm over it though. I'm ready to go to some a little more hypey. Okay, so this one I want to check before I install because these two look similar, but one of them is quite a bit longer. So it says the left side Z bracket has a shorter arm than the right side. Okay, so we need a longer one for this side, and then I think it's probably going in like that, but let me verify. Yes. So it's going in like this. I suck at lip reading. I'm not really, yeah, thank you. I'm not really good at lip reading either. If you want things to be interpreted really incorrectly, then I'm your guy for lip reading. Okay. Let's actually tighten this up just a hair more. There we go. Where's the hole? There it is. Okay. Okay. And the last one. And I'm going to assume, which I shouldn't do, but yeah, I did confirm that it goes like this. So kind of the same, just mirroring the direction of the right one. Okay, this one's not going in so smoothly. Is it a me thing, or is it the thread? Is it the screw? What's going on here, buddy? Let's try. I don't know. I got it though. Oop. Hey, Bearded Printers in the house. How's it going, man? Happy Wednesday. You missed ranting about irrigation. You missed talks about corn dogs and Wiener Wednesdays, and you missed me muting the mic to sneeze and forgetting to unmute it and then talking for a while. So it's been an eventful day. Oh, you know what? Let's use this. Okay. That is on. So what is next? Move my calipers. Anti-backlash nuts. Alrighty. I think I took those out. I did. Hey, Ranch Kid. Hey, you just came at the halfway point, basically, so you're right on time. Things are just ramping up. There we go. Okay. Itchy nose, itchy nose, itchy nose. What do those? I'm not sure. There's like Sharpie. Looks like the number 8 written on these. These are injection molded. Hey, Salty. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. We got the Z rails on. We got the Z brackets on. We aligned the rear extrusion with the motor. I had originally thought that if I aligned it halfway between the two vertical extrusions, that would be perfect. I was wrong. The motor is not mounted perfectly center, so 1 second. A sip of water too. Okay, so it says to match the orientation, fix the anti-backlash nut on each of them, anti-backlash match orientation. Okay. And then we need M516 caps. Wait, yeah. M516, so here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know if I need to use Loctite on these, but I guess I will. Why not? Okay, I feel like I'm just doing the same dance with the camera today to the 3Zs. There we go. Okay, so orientation-wise, it looks like it wants them... Oh. So I don't think we're using the nuts. It looks like there's nut traps on the back of these. But from what I'm seeing, these are just going straight into the aluminum. So let's just do a little bit of Loctite. Throw this through here. And this onto here. Like that. Do I have a bigger? Can we use our 4mm driver? Ooh, baby. Sure can. Okay. Are you gonna build a cocoa press? It's not in the cards right now. If they reached out and were like, hey, we want to send you one, I would say, sure, that sounds fun to build, but I don't really have I don't know that I have much of a use for one right now to, you know, go out and buy one. We'll see though. But yeah, not right now. The builds I have kind of, oops. Oh shit. Oh no, did I lose any balls? Oh, that was not good. I don't think I lost any balls, but I definitely pushed down on this bracket, causing, hold on, let me look at it, make sure there's no, I don't see any balls, I don't see any balls on that side, see any balls on that side, I think we're safe. I gotta be careful. There's the brackets I just put on are sticking out, and so my elbow pushed down on it, popped off the rubber guy, and slid the block off the extrusion, or off the rail, but somehow perfectly went back on. The printer gods are smiling apparently today. That was scary. Lost your balls. Yeah, that was a little scary. I gotta be careful with all these actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I kind of forgot that they're not secured. Okay. Boop. Yeah, this is the bracket that I hit. When I was leaning over, my elbow hit this and pushed it down, so I gotta be careful not to do that. It might. Okay, this one has a nut pre-installed. I'm not wrong, right? I can't see why we would need nuts. I can't see what benefit having the nuts in here would serve since we're going into an aluminum extrusion. To me, this is more if you're not mounting it or something like that. Is it printing yet? No, man of the croc, we're not printing yet. I'm taking this out. I can't see why we need, and there's only enough for one nut in each, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Is it printing yet? You know how we do. We are making good progress though, I think. I feel like we are. Huh, why are we not tightening? Oh, it's because I'm putting it in the wrong hole. That would do it. There we go. Okay. Better have extra nuts than more than none. Yeah, I'll hold on to them, but it just doesn't make sense to me. There's literally one nut per. So which one would I, like which one gets the nut, right? Like which cavity gets the nut? It doesn't make, we're threading this into a CNC part. I don't see what a nut would be doing to help us in this situation. Okay, let's not pop it out again. It's probably plenty tight. As long as we ain't dragging. Nice. Pinner tape on the rail. Painter's tape on the rail. You mean just add? I'm almost thinking throwing a zip tie through the bottom is not a bad idea, but I believe the next step is us putting in the lead screws, and then it should be less of an issue. But adding zip ties to this probably would have been a decent idea. God. I mentioned nuts one time. Okay. I think the current one for the Z might be off a bit of all. I think the current one for the Z. Oh, okay, not, you didn't tag ASIO, so I thought it was something for me, and I'm like, I don't know what that is referring to. Okay, that seems playing tight. That seems playing tight. Okay. What is next? Oh, coupler. Assemble 3 couplers as shown. Yeah, I haven't used these in a little bit. I think I've mostly used printed ones of these as well. They're also really tight. Like really, really tight. But maybe it's not an issue. Whatever the centerpiece is, I think it's probably palm. Is making it where these don't slide nearly as well. But I imagine that the metal pieces will probably wear it in with time. Curious to see if they all have that same sort of tight fit. What are we at on likes? I think we were at 42 last time I checked. We'll open the giveaway up in 20-ish minutes. Yeah, these are all relatively the same tightness. Same amount of resistance. That's not going on. Ooh, I think Jack's up from his nap, so we'll probably get a Jack visit soon. Okay, why are we not fitting, buddy? Seriously? There we go. It's best to lubricate them so they slide it a bit better. I am not against that idea because the ones I've used in the past all had. We recommend using some. Oh, it doesn't even say that. Carefully sanding down the side faces. Okay, let's try some lubricant first. It says that in the instructions as well. Yeah, this, because from what I remember, this is way tight. I don't really want to sand these down, but I am definitely for adding some lubricant. So if they're not functioning properly, then what's the point of really using them, right? There we go. Take out all of them. What should I lube these with then? I've got. I only have grease. I don't even have machine oil anymore. Well, that sucks. I've only got really no. I feel like oil would be a better option for this. I don't have any. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I've got super lube, synthetic oil. Let's try this. I feel like that's probably better than grease on something like this. Run it for a few days, it won't be tight anymore. Hey, Armor! With the tears. I don't. Hopefully I don't have enough enemies to do that. Okay. I guess this means probably gloves round 2. But if Jack's coming up, let me grab my gloves and wait a minute because I don't want to start messing around with oil. Let me also clear a pathway. It's getting messy up here. What kind of person lives up here? All this chaos. Oh. Let's put that there. Let's get the stool ready because, you know, kiddo loves the bar stool. Here, let me grab some gloves. Okay. Got gloves, got bar stool. Do a quick stretch. I guess I'll just throw on the gloves. Jack will think it's funny. When we were at the doctor's office, Jack was super restless, so we took one of the doctor's gloves and the latex gloves and blew it up into a balloon. I think we were calling it a turkey, and Jackson had it kept Jackson entertained for a few minutes. Oh, come on, gloves. It's really thick. Okay, so let's see if I just add hold on. So if he's coming up, I really don't want oil everywhere. Move this to the side. Hey, honey. I don't hear anything, so if he's sleeping still, I definitely don't want to wake him up because that is something you don't do. Just wake up a toddler. All right. Before I get oil all over my hands and can't touch the camera, let's drop you guys down a little bit. Okay, it's not great. Oh, it's better. Okay, it's not great, but it's better. I think that's going to be more than sufficient, and I have a feeling, like someone mentioned in chat, that the palm is going to wear itself in. And then are these? No, these are not mirrored, so we need to make sure we're using different halves. Dear God. Way too much oil. It's really difficult to get this oil out and not have it go all over everything. Okay, that one feels good. So much oil. So much oil. Any updates on Minibot? No, not really. We haven't had any new doctor's appointments, nothing like that. He is getting much more active. Aaron is feeling him kicking like every single day now, and he loves food. Every time Aaron eats a food and then sits after that, she's like, he's moving, he's moving. I'm convinced he has a sweet tooth as well because we've been having like late night sweets. Aaron bought this monstrosity of cinnamon rolls from Costco, which is enough for probably like a family of 8. And it's just me and her eating them, so we've had late night cinnamon rolls the last 4 days, and every time we have it, she's like, he's moving. I'm like, kid's gonna have such a sweet tooth. Okay, it's not going on smoothly. That one is pretty tight. Oof. Oh, come on, buddy. Go back on. There we go. You should drop in the stream tonight if you're free. I'm doing 48 volts. Oh, nice. I don't know if I'll be able to, man. I've got swim with Jack after this, or later on this evening. So I've got swim, and then after that, I have a date with Irrigation to try to clamp the irrigation and figure out why it's leaking. It's pretty urgent because we're leaving for a family wedding, and I'm gonna have my first round of vegetables in the garden, and it's gonna be interesting trying to have them water everything. I'd rather have it all set up on drip before we leave, so it's kind of my random project that I've been working a lot more on than I thought I was going to be. But I'll try. Another 5-minute build. Are you talking about irrigation? If so, then yes. It was supposed to be like, ah, it looks fine. The line is too long. Like all the valve stuff needed for drip, it's usually done on a hose bib, so it's above ground and you have all this space to work. But in ground, it's just way too large for the sprinkler box. And then there's male and female parts that are not compatible that I can't seem to find the right pieces for. So it's just been all sorts of chaos. Love the videos. I'm currently endlessly upgrading a Sovo SVO8 and have a Sovo Zero arriving. Nice, that's awesome. Thank you so much for watching. You have upgrade plans for the V0 or the Sovo Zero? I know I've seen quite a bit, well, not tons, but some photos of people. Like I know there's at least an aftermarket tool head and some other stuff people have been modding on them already. Okay, let's see if there's oil everywhere. You need the right pressure for the drip system too. That was an issue I had. Yeah, I did. So that's part of why the valve setup is so long. It's basically the manifold that goes from what is it? It's the poly pipe to a PVC fitting to the valve to a fine mesh filter to a pressure regulator that drops it to 25 psi, which is super long, to then a adapter, to then another part that basically takes that thread and converts it to a 3/4 inch main line for the drip. Like it's just, there's so many pieces, it's nuts. I feel pretty good about most of the drip stuff. It's just the freaking manifold, like the valve that's leaking on me. If I can get that figured out, I feel pretty solid about the rest of the stuff, but it's kind of the main thing, right? Like if the valve is leaking, it's right up against the house, which is not good. That's why I'm more concerned. Because we had it installed afterwards, so that way we had valve access in the backyard, not just the front. And they installed it right up against the house, which at the time I didn't really have any issue with. But now I'm like, that's not great, because if I have a leak, it's right up against our foundation. So, oh jeez, okay, it's sliding better. I'm not going to continue trying to make them slide. Let's just get this dude. Getting it on is the toughest part. There we go. Okay, we're calling that good enough. So let me wipe down this bottle of oil, find the cap. I don't use this oil very often, so I'm glad I had it. It must be from a long time ago. Okay, one more quick little wipe down and I'll take the gloves off. What budget enclosed printer would you recommend? What is the budget? What is the rough budget? Because that is a huge part of it. Oh, itchy nose. For someone, a budget printer might be $500. For another person, it might be, $200. So I need a little bit of a baseline. Okay, couplers are installed, and then it wants us to use loosely fastened M3 cap heads. These couplings are designed to be fit. Okay, loosely fastened. I'm gonna use Loctite. These are M36. M36s, here they are. We've got 4 per, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, yeah, I do really like the V0. Under about 450. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know of a whole lot of budget enclosed printers. Well, okay, that's not true. Okay, that's not true at all, actually, now I think about it. So you have the V0, the Centauri Carbon. I honestly, like, if the Centauri, I mean, the Centauri Carbon's on back order as far as I'm aware, so I don't know when they're gonna have stock available. But if they had stock available, my experience with it, I just did a review on it. It's not perfect, but it seems like an excellent value for the money. I don't know how many mods there will be, especially because the firmware on there is some kind of proprietary firmware. That's probably my biggest gripe with it. You could always gut the board, but you probably wouldn't be able to reuse the screen on it, and I don't know how that would work or interface with the load cells that they're using in the bed. But if you don't really want to mod the machine, then I would say the Centauri Carbon's solid. But I like V0s a lot, especially if you want to do a build. And then the Sovol Zeros, I don't know what their price point's at now, because when we were looking at it, it was like pre-early bird pricing. But that seems like also one where it's got elements of the V0. It's open source, and I imagine there's going to be quite a lot of mods continuing to come out for it. I'm just looking around to see like what other printers do I have. You said under 450. You could also look at the FlashForge. I don't have the enclosed version of it. I have the unenclosed version of it. It's like the 5M, but they have the 5M Pro. The 5M was really solid to me, and I've heard really good things about the 5M Pro. I think it's basically the same machine, but with you know, with an enclosure and maybe some additional things that the enclosure would have, like maybe there's a filter and maybe there's extra cooling perhaps mounted to the side. But yeah, those would probably be the ones I'd look at. Fabrico has stock on the Centauris? If that's the case, like, I mean, it's such a good price. Yeah, it's such a good price. The ECC prints ABS and PC like a champ. What is that? The ECC? Oh, Elegoo Centauri Carbon. Dirt. Sovol Zero. Gotcha. Okay, so he has the Sovol Zeros. The Sovol Zeros. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, so that's underneath that price as well. Got it. Yeah, those are probably my recommendations. Anything else that I could think of would be kind of probably older machines that I just wouldn't recommend buying today. So yeah, hopefully that gives you at least a few things to kind of think about or consider. All right, let's get these screws in and then I'll open up the giveaway. So let's do a little bit more Loctite. Like that. All the screws. It says to just do them lightly, so we will do our best to do that. Okay, so I guess basically what it's saying is don't have the end of the screw popping into the channel that the stepper motor shaft or the lead screw is going into, so I will use that as sort of my stopping point. There we go. The Zero just arrived yesterday. Nice. Still waiting on the Centauri. Yeah, based off what I saw, I think it'll probably be a bit. It seemed like pre-orders were kind of insane. I can't remember what the ship date said last time I checked on Elegoo's website as well. So yeah, part of it depends on like, is the machine available? I mean, I feel like Elegoo's had manufacturing issues in the past though, or at least keeping up with demand. I remember on some of the resin printers where I made a video on it and then it's like, man, these things haven't been available for months. So hopefully that's not the case with the Centauri for anyone that's, you know, wanting to buy one and have them on the shelf. But I know in the past they've definitely had some delays on manufacturing. I can't wait to try that Zero. I've heard it's built like a tank. Yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about it before it showed up, other than, you know, it's at least loosely inspired by the V0. There was a lot of stuff that caught me off guard with that thing, in a good way. In a good way. Like, they definitely did. They did some extra stuff on it that I wasn't expecting that I think is pretty cool. Instead of just sort of copy pasting.
totally random and related to irrigation, but the one thing that's the one thing that's been a little tricky with me with irrigation, or just pipes in general that water's running through, is getting the correct tightness. Like, because it's, you know, plastic, I am like, it's hard for me to figure out what's the correct tightness to where it won't leak. And so, like, obviously too loose will leak, but then I read all this stuff about, oh, if you go too tight, you can like deform something or crack something. And so I feel like, I don't know if it's just, I'm a little paranoid because of all the stuff I've read, and it's not that big of a deal, like, to go tighter. But like the leak that I had yesterday, I don't know if the leak's because it's too loose or if the leak's because it's too tight. And so part of me like sees leak, I'm like, okay, you gotta tighten it up more. But then the other part of me is like, wait a minute, like maybe you've tightened it too much, you need to back off a hair. So it's just, it's one of those things where I think it, Tuxedo mentioned, but like it kind of comes with experience. Like you can read as much as you want, and it's like that with a lot of things. Lots and lots of Teflon can be hand tight if enough Teflon tape. Interesting. So what the question I've got for anyone here that's done irrigation stuff is, so I've got just the cheap Teflon tape. Like they sell thick stuff, but I've just got, I think I have a freaking roll of it up here that I bought and forgot to take downstairs. I do. Yeah, so I've got just a bunch of this stuff. Just this little, you know, kind of no brand. I mean, there's probably a brand on it, but Teflon thread seal tape. 1/2 inch by 520 inches, mil spec. Yeah, so it stuff's really thin. And like on the hose bib I installed, I ended up doing, I think, only 2 or 3 wraps. And it worked fine. It did. I did have to tighten the whole thing one more time. But on the stuff I did last night, I did 5 wraps. But I've read some people saying, like, with this thin crap, like some of them do like 7 to 9 wraps, like a ridiculous amount. So I'm curious, for anyone that has used just like your basic super thin stuff, not the special stuff that says thick or tight seal or whatever, how many wraps do you use for this stuff? Because it seems like the range is massive. Teflon is not a seal. I know Teflon is not a seal. Teflon, it's a lubricant from what I dove deep into this, but basically read that like this is not a seal, it's a lubricant, and the purpose of it is to help, because if there's not a gasket that is using like, okay, if there's no rubber gasket or O-ring or anything like that, then the seal is the threads mating with each other. And so by using this tape, it should make it where it helps it slide easier, basically, so that way the threads can form a tighter fit with each other. And this is just used, it's basically a lubricant, not a seal. I've never used pipe dope. I know that the, hey down under, don't use pipe seal, use pipe paste. That's what the, that is what the irrigation guys used on everything was pipe dope. Is that the general consensus, that pipe dope's just better? If that's, is there any negative trade-off? Because like with this stuff, you can take it off really easily, but if you use pipe dope, does it harden and then become nearly impossible to remove after? Hey, Ted's in the house. Thank you so much, man, for the gifted membership. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much, man. Just use duct tape. Nice. Rector seal works great on everything. I've never heard of that. Don't use pipe seal, use pipe. There's that too. Silly question, but you're wrapping it the correct way. I am wrapping it the correct way. I did, that is another thing that I learned, but for anyone that doesn't know, with Teflon tape, you want to wrap it, like if you're holding the non-threaded part and the thread is sticking out this way, you want to wrap it this way, so to the right, because when you tear off the end of it and you mate the pieces together and turn it, if you wrap it the other way, then as you're turning it, it can undo the Teflon tape. So if you wrap it this way and you pull it, so it's basically, if you tear it and it's facing like this, when you turn it clockwise, it's going to, if anything, help pull the tape into the thread versus away from it. So I did see that, yeah. If it's meant to move WD-40, if it's not, then pipe dope gets hard, but it's easy to remove with a pick? What do you mean with a pick? I don't know what a pick is. When you say pick, I picture someone with a pickaxe. What is that? I'm thinking about building a... But general tapered thread fittings can General, okay, so it's not, you think it's fine to just like really tighten them down? I'm just hand tightening too. I don't know if I should be using something else. Wrap the heck out of it. The kind of fittings that can be over tightened are compression fittings. Those have to be tightened just right. Okay. Maybe I'm just not tightening it enough. You've given me a lot of things. I know it's not a pickaxe. Pick the threads. Pick the threads. I have to look up what you mean. Half sharp tweezers. Got it. So you mean basically just like scrape it from the threads is what you mean. I figured it was something like that, but when you said pick, like, I'm a goofball. That's what comes to mind. It's only useful on tapered joints. It's useless on compression joints. What type of video? Let me open the giveaway for everyone, and then I can explain what's going on here, because Ted missed it. And this will be the last time I swear to you all that I talk about irrigation for today's stream. It's irrigation. I should rename it Irrigation and Chill. All right, copy. Okay, paste. Okay, giveaway link is pinned in chat. Someone also had a 3D printing question. I'm thinking about building a Yavoth toolhead with the Eddie and Rapido 2 for this way. Just not sure I want to sink another $350. Oh man, that's the upgrade path, man. The endless dump of funds into it. So for anyone that missed it, I'll do it one more time. Long story short, I'm trying to install a new valve that in ground for a drip system. Most everything drip is above ground, people attaching it to hose bibs. I don't have one in the area I want, and I don't want to run another hose bib. I'm beyond that at this point. So I basically have a 1-inch poly main line coming from the front yard that's irrigation only to the backyard for our backyard sprinklers. So I've cut that. I've got the poly pipe going into a 1-inch barbed fitting, and then the other end of that is threads. And that is threaded into a manifold, like a single manifold PVC. And then coming off of that this way, I've got a threaded piece between like the front of the T that goes into the valve. Then the valve's attached to a filter. The filter's attached to a pressure regulator that drops it to 25 PSI. Then another piece that basically converts it from 1-inch thread to 3/4 inch thread. And then another piece that goes on that 3/4 inch male thread and is for 3/4 inch drip pipe. The issue I'm running into is leaking. Initially, I was told at Home Depot, that you didn't need to use any tape for the fittings. For the blue fitting I got that had barbs on one end and threads on the other. That proved to be incorrect because unless I needed to just tighten it a heck of a lot more, which again, I don't know, I think I bottomed it out, so I doubt that's the case. Once I applied 5 wraps of Teflon tape, that leak went away. Now the main leak that's the issue that I'm having is on the hose clamps and the barb fittings. I used crimp clamps, and I can grab the entire thing of, you know, the valve with the filter, with the adapters, and I can pivot it relatively easily, which is not good to me because I would think that if you're clamping something, it should not pivot easily. There should be enough resistance. So I'm thinking that maybe the pinch clamps aren't working well enough. So I'm gonna use worm clamps today and see if that does it. If that doesn't do it, then I really don't know. I really don't know. Aside from potentially ordering a different barb fitting that's maybe a slightly wider diameter, because I've read that for most fittings, there's like 3 different tolerances for them. And I can feel that when I slide the 1-inch diameter poly pipe onto those barb fittings, it slides on relatively easily. Like there's not a whole lot of resistance, which isn't ideal, I'm sure. But I would think that with appropriate clamps and clamping force, that can be resolved as long as I'm clamping it around the barb. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Okay, last thing, let me read this. You should be at least using 9-inch pipe wrench to tighten the fittings. 9-inch pipe, really? I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, man of the croc. Rector seal is your answer. All right, I'm gonna open a tab and put that in there just because you said it now twice. And if you say it twice, rector seal for pipes. Okay. Okay, I've got that.
Have you tried HP? Don't trust what Home Depot says. I know, the guy was really convincing. He wasn't that convincing. He was trying to get to lunch. I should have known. Hey, 3D Printcraft. Home Depot really knows what they're talking about. I know. No, that is correct. Teflon tape is for threaded joints. It's useless on yeah. I didn't use it on barb fittings. No. I'm talking about on the threads, Tuxedo. He said it didn't need it on the threads. So the barb fitting is half of its barb, half of its threads, and that goes into the PVC manifold. And he said that none of that needed tape. Tape is okay, but I find dope to work better. As for the barbs, maybe try soaking the pipe in boiling water and clamp it hot. Got it. So maybe I can form it to it, is what you're saying? When you do the worm clamps, use a 1/4-inch ratchet to tighten it if you have marshmallow arms. Good to know. Lose that barb fitting and move to ag fittings. What is that? Ag fitting. If you're bottoming out the threads, they are not MPT or taper threads and won't benefit from Teflon tape. God, there's so much info here. Thank you, everybody. I don't want to talk about irrigation anymore. I appreciate everyone. You've given me a lot to consider. I now have lots of additional things I can throw at it. Giveaway link is open. Let's continue building here. I appreciate you all. Also, if you have not hit the like button, please do. We're at 60. The goal is to get to 100. So we need 40 more. 40 more people. Okay. Fix the 3 old M couplings into the shafts. Tighten the bolts to hold it in place. Make sure one of the bolts is against the flat part of the shaft. Cool. Pretty standard stuff there. Agricultural fittings are like PTFE collets we use, but for water. Interesting. Let's get back to food talk. I used to work in a plumber's merchant, and the worst question was, how do I fit this? Yeah, it's fun stuff, everyone. It's very fun stuff. Okay, so that is on. Now we need to just tighten this up. I'm also going to use my little Allen keys for these just to give myself a little bit more ugga-dugga. I don't think this is the right size. Where is the green one? Oh, seriously, where's the green one? Oh. Where are you? There's no way I lost it. Wait, I'm pretty sure we used it in today's stream. There it is. Under the bags. All the bags. Okay. Let's tighten this guy up. Yeah, it's funny that I just listened to him at Home Depot, because I'm a pretty big skeptic. Like, it's just the way I'm wired. So usually when someone tells me something, I always verify it from multiple sources, but I don't know, in this case, like, he seems so convincing. He just said it so, like, matter of fact that I'm like, okay, sure. I don't need it. Great. That's awesome. You know more than I do. You work here and deal with this stuff, so. I could see myself retired one day working at Home Depot. Like, I can see myself retired working at Home Depot someday. I think I would really enjoy it. And whatever my department is, I would learn absolutely everything I can about the subject matter. Because I would want to help people as much as I can.
Maybe that would be a problem, because I'd want to help people more than sell stuff. But I would love to like help people and then have them come back in and be like, yeah, like check out my project. Like that would make me, I mean, I feel like that's kind of with the channel, like as much as I like making the content, it's really rewarding when someone comes back and is like, hey, I used this for this and it worked well. Like, I feel like it would give me a similar sense of satisfaction helping people that way. As a rule of thumb, I take everything Home Depot tells me with a grain of salt. Yeah, I used to, let's get back to food. Okay, cool, I've read everything. An itchy nose today, man. Itchy nose. Boop. Okay. Okay, one last complaint I have about, you guys got me going now. I got myself going, but one of my biggest complaints about going to buy anything irrigation related at the store is there are way too many pieces in different sizes, and I don't know how it is everywhere, but I'll tell you that at least at the Home Depot, nothing is in the correct box. It is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It is absolutely ridiculous. So there we go, there's my complaints. Thread 3 lead screws to the anti-backlash nuts and down into the coupling. Tighten the bolts on the coupling to secure lead screws in place. Awesome. Back in the day, we had to level that bed by hand. Yeah, it's uphill both ways. It just felt, yesterday, that's just how it felt. I haven't felt that way in a while, that like everything felt against me. Like, everything. But it's, I guess, like, if there's a positive, like days like that make you incredibly thankful for the days where things are not like that. You know, when things just go according to plan, you're like, man, yeah, things just worked out. That was awesome. Because it's more often than not, you know, that's not typically the way things go, unfortunately. Okay, so we are going through, oh. Okay, it stopped. So we are dropping this through here. You should work at Fabrico S3D when you get old. See if Fabrico will take me. West 3D is definitely closer. I don't think I can convince the family to move to Florida. Okay, that is not... Oh, there we go. Seems like it worked. Okay. Let's tighten this down. That feels kind of tight. All right, we're gonna roll with it. We'll deal with binding as it comes. Yeah, it might just wear itself in. It's not the worst. Okay. Yes. Let's grab this. How are you feeling, Phil? I feel like it was last week that you said you got stung by a sea urchin. I'm nearly positive it was last week. I hope you're feeling better. I thought of you this last week because I took Jackson to a fish shop on Sunday, maybe? I think it was Sunday. And they had a sea urchin in the saltwater section. And I was like, oh, Phil. It looked very sharp. Okay, that one's in. I still feel like it's not moving as smoothly as I'd like, but who knows? Sometimes it's just a mental thing. So if I see binding, then I'll know I have a problem. But oh, you know what? It could be the backlash nuts making it. Yeah, what if it's the backlash nuts that's making it a little bit tighter? Oh, 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm itchy knuckles from the last of the poison. crazy. I can't believe it was 2 weeks ago. I feel like it was just last week. I'm glad to hear that you're mostly better though. Did Deanna comment? Deanna, I didn't see. Huh? I don't see Deanna. Oh, your icon changed. It's all black now. Oh. I even read your comment and didn't realize it was you because your icon changed. I get so used to seeing someone's icon that I kind of pair it with it, so it threw me. Okay. Last one. I did notice, Stark. I did notice the ears had changed, but it's purple, and I think your other one was purple, so I was able to like mentally pair those two things together. I did, because it used to be like a figure with a face, right? I'm almost positive it was like a purple figure with a face. A purple figure with a face. I'm not wrong. I think it was just like a purple guy. What you can see is mostly like a profile of his face. That does not seem super aligned. Does not seem super aligned. Why is this? That seems off, but but it seems off. Let's see, if I were to center this, it seems, wow, that seems way off. It was a picture of me that I had edited to have green skin and purple hair. Oh, okay. It's not what I remember, but is there one with a thicker spacer? That's a great question. I assumed they were all the same, but that is a great question. .45, let's call it 9.5. 9.5. 9.5. No, they're all the same. That seems, I mean, there's no way for it to be different unless, like, it's not, I mean, yeah, it looks like I can slightly shift it to the right, but the main issue is not left to right, it's front to back. That's quite substantial. Is this not, feels fine there. You know what? Okay, I don't think it'll make a massive difference, but when we move this left to right, I didn't do the back flush up against here. So let me get a, the motor looked like it's not mounted in the right spot. What do you mean? There's only, it's like, there's only one way to mount it. Yeah, I think that what I'm gonna do is loosen those bolts again. I'll just loosen the bottom ones here. Oh great, I need to use this, right? No, this guy. Let's loosen this and then use the 1, 2, 3 block to, I have a feeling it'll push it forward a little bit. It's still not gonna be like enough to bridge that gap, but it will at least get us closer. Let me see, like if I just, yeah, that, I mean, that definitely gets us closer. So let me, I could shift it forward more, but I don't think that should be right. I feel like it should be flush with that back extrusion. So at least like that. Maybe if I do it like that and shift it over to the right. Still not. Hey, Peslas! I mean, it did say that it didn't need to be perfect because the coupler, but it just, I mean, I can push it, I can make it where it goes in there, but then this extrusion is not, like, the extrusion is way favoring the front. And I think I mean, it doesn't look like it's favoring the front. There's only one arm for the back. The back one is the only one that has that specific arm piece. Hey, Benny! Are lead screws better than belts for these kind of machines? I've kind of gotten to where I hate them. I think they're... Well, I use the word simpler. I don't know if they're actually simpler. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the call is for this. I mean, the coupler will shift, I suppose. Right? Like, the coupler will shift for it. I'd move the frame forward, then the coupler won't have to work so hard. Yeah. We can try that. So basically, this is if it's flush. This is if the extrusion's flush. I push the extrusion all the way forward. It's basically perfect. It does need to go to the right more. It does need to go like right there is pretty much perfect. So we'll just do that and see how this goes. I mean, luckily, this shouldn't be that difficult to adjust later if need be. That's not the right. When you push the extrusion forward, what's it doing to the top end of the travel? What do you mean? I'm gonna move the, like, I'm gonna shift the top as well to make them align. Do you attach anything to the outside of the extrusion like a panel? Oops, jeez. Sorry, got a little crazy there. Yeah, I'm not gonna, if this is, like this one I have to push forward as well, otherwise it'll definitely bind. As far as the panels go, Domar's asking about panels in case we're gonna have an issue attaching something to it. Okay, it's just gonna take me in circles. Where's the back? This is the back, right? I don't see anything going into that vertical extrusion. Yeah, this is the back. This all looks like it's going on the horizontal, these the vertical, and then these looks like it's just bolting to it. So I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Let's try it. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna loosen the, crap, I need to use this again. Nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I think that it's worth a shot, Delmar. I don't know that this idea is any worse than what I was going to do, which is just have the coupler compensate. So we can give this a go. Because I feel like the coupler is supposed to compensate for small deviations, not that substantial. I'm also, let's see, how easy is this? This one feels like that. Okay, those feel fine. Okay, so let me tighten these down. But yeah, I mean, the rail's obviously now sticking off on the top, but it's not attached there anyway, so I don't think it really matters. I think he chose the better of the two options. Yeah, I'll give Delmar credit for that. I'm not sure what I would have done. I mean, I was definitely going to move it forward because it was favoring the back. So I was at least going to align it, but I don't know that I was going to overshoot it. But yeah, I think that, you know, the coupler again, it will help a little bit, but I don't think it's supposed to do all that. The rail also, something seems off here, man. Like, I'm looking at the rail and it's favoring the side of the extrusion. Why would that be the case? The motor looks like it's mounted evenly. I can't understand, unless this thing is it bent? No, it's not. I mean, it's not bent that much. Really odd to me. Breakout. No, I don't mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean the linear rail is straight. I did use the Voron alignment jig. It's the lead screw. The lead screw is it seems like it's at an angle. Like, I'm looking at it and it's kind of like, it's kind of on the top starting at the right, and at the bottom it's traveling to the left. I wonder if this vertical is not, let's see. Where'd that monstrous ruler go? There it is. Let's measure. Giveaway links open too in chat. We're gonna do our giveaway drawing in probably the next 5 to 10 minutes here. It's like 90 people entered. Also, if you have not hit the like button, let's see if we can get 31 more people in 10 minutes. Okay, so measuring from roughly this triangle to this triangle, we're looking at 23, pretty much right at 23. Okay, and then measuring from here. Okay, it is a slight shift. So the bottom's at like 22. It's tricky to measure this. So yeah, bottom's at like 22 and a half. Let's call it approximately 22 and a half. And this is at, Wait, no, that's not right. Let's see. Okay, so it's like halfway. So it's roughly 229, roughly 229.5 millimeters. And this is roughly, it's freaking tough to see. And we're talking half a millimeter difference. That can't be it. Would you like a PB&J? That sounds awesome. Maybe preload the palm fitting. The palm fitting seems to shift it to the right more. Like, because that's where the tension's at. Like, watch, if I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but if I just press down, I mean, since it's here, it's gonna make the rail go more that way. I might play around with this a little bit more. It's definitely, yeah, I mean, let me show you guys here. I don't know if I can get the camera. All right, let's do this. Let me move the printer. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Can you guys, you're roughly centered. Get you in focus. I don't know if you can even tell from this shot. It's kind of difficult to show. You can see it, right? You can see it. Like on this side, you can see so much more of the extrusion, and then as it goes down, it completely shifts, and you can see a little bit of it sticking out there. My feline supervisor approves of your progress. Well, tell your feline supervisor I say thank you. This relies on the base holes being drilled in the right spot. Maybe measure the motor mount screw locations too. No, it's definitely not straight. Like if it's enough for me to be like, no, that's off. It looks like the whole thing needs to be shifted. Like it looks like I need to. I don't think there was any place for there to be slop. Oh, Jack's here. Hey, buddy. You come and say hi? Did you? You go potty? Come on, buddy. Oh, Jack attack! You say hi? Oh, don't touch that. Can you see your hands? You went straight for the Loctite. This, you don't touch this, okay? No, no. That is, what color is that?
Blue.
It is blue. Yeah, Allen keys. Thank you so much. Big metal part. Thank you so much. Cool, thank you. Did you have a good nap?
Yeah.
You sleep good? You have good dreams? Yeah, good. What is it, baby?
Napkin?
What?
Nap?
Napkin? Yeah, it is a napkin. It is. Daddy was playing with grease. Can you say grease? Grease? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay.
These are scissors. These are not for babies. Oh. Those are Allen keys. Daddy needs these. Careful, don't fall. Can you say hi to everybody, buddy? No. Oh, he wants to press buttons. Can you say hi? Came for the fringes, stayed for the Jack. Jackson, you keep handing me these, and I keep putting these back down. Those need to stay here, okay? Are you gonna go swimming today? Yeah, are you excited? You gonna swim with mommy? Yeah. What, baby? Daddy's got to get back to work because the lead screw, watch, look at this. Let me show you what we're working with here, okay? Okay. This guy right here is at an angle. It's supposed to be straight. You understand? Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is my driver. Okay, Daddy's got to get back to work because we got to do a giveaway and go stream. Oh, don't press buttons, please. He said, he said bye-bye, everybody. Bye-byes. Bye-byes. All right, enjoy your sandwich, buddy. What is it? What is it, baby? No, you gotta go bye-bye. That's Daddy's. Go eat your sandwich, bud. I love you. Okay. Bye-bye. All right, giveaway. Jack solves the complex 3D spiral issue a bunch of grown-ups can't. Delilah's hiding in the closet. Bye, Delilah. Okay, I am gonna do 60 seconds and then I'll remove the giveaway link. We've got 94 entries. And 74 likes. Okay, 1 minute, and then we'll do it. What did I get? Ooh, I got apples too? What a treat. Daniel, you need to print a support with a bearing inside. I've heard really mixed things about that. I know what you're talking about, because like, I've seen so much debate about it, but I know that the lead screw is not supposed to be constrained on both ends. And so I've seen people do that with a lead screw. I am tempted, I don't think it's the issue, but I am tempted to pull the lead screw out and just roll it on my quartz to see if it's got a mean bend. I don't think that's the case. I think it's an alignment thing. And I can shift the extrusion, but based on my measurements, the distance from the top of the extrusion to this vertical and the bottom of this extrusion to this vertical is like 0.5 millimeter off. And so and it looks like to fix this, I would have to angle that center extrusion to sort of compensate for that angle. I'm just not sure what's introducing that angle. Like what is not aligned? Because the extrusions seem to be aligned. Yeah. Uneven tension on the coupler. Interesting. Okay, check this out. Well, the camera's not exactly where it was, but let's say that this is like this, right? If I slide this coupler, wait, I did it a second ago, hold on. The coupler can correct for it. Like this is the coupler completely, like everything centered. But if I slide it this way and I slide this, let's see. No. I mean, that is much better. Oh, until the coupler. Maybe the screw is bent. I mean, as it's spinning like that, that kind of makes me think it's bent. Like, look at the top of it as it's rotating. That, I don't see, that to me shouldn't be happening as I'm spinning it. Yeah, let's pull the lead screw. Let's pull this lead screw and take a look at it. Something tells me it's probably bent, and that might be my issue. The top moves a lot. Yeah, agreed. I'm pretty sure all the anti-backlash nuts went in the same direction. I can check that too, though. It doesn't look that bent. These lead screws look relatively flat. I'm not convinced that's what it is. Like, I've seen very bent lead screws where it like doesn't even roll smoothly. It kind of slams, or you can see a lot of light shining through in one section. That doesn't seem to be the case with this. So it's something. Maybe it will correct once I've tensioned everything. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to just move forward and see what happens. Okay, also, I'm gonna remove the giveaway. Link. So if you're filling out the giveaway form, you've got another 60 seconds. Let's remove. There we go. Oh, itchy nose. Wait. Thread in the anti-backlash nut an M5 grub screw. Tighten the grub screw incrementally while testing the movement of the nut along with. Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let me read all this. Maybe check lead screw did that. This is all relying on the extrusion being straight and having been cut accordingly. The top moves a lot. Is the anti-backlash nut hole off center? No, it looks dead center to me. Alignment or constraint. That rail doesn't look right either. The rail doesn't look right? I think that it's just the angle. Yeah, you guys are at a slight angle. It's sort of, it should look better probably now. I mean, we did use these, so the rail should be pretty dang centered. Yeah, I think that the rail's fine. I'm probably gonna play around with it a little bit on my own off stream and just report back what I come up with. If I might even float a message to Makertech before next week's stream and just see if they've got any input on this. But I'll verify. I mean, things look pretty centered left and right with the center of the motor shaft. Yeah, it's weird to me. It's really odd to me. I had a similar situation, but it turned out the motor shaft. Oh, motor shaft was bent. Yeah, I can definitely check that. This is not dropping in. Yeah, so for this to drop in. Oh, there we go. just looks off, man. Let's see. Okay, let's do the giveaway. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's do the giveaway. I know it's a weird time for a lot of people. We got exactly 100 giveaway, or 100 entries. Let's see. Yeah, it's missing somebody. Okay, let me download this. Okay, we have got 100 entries. That aligns. All right. Is there any play for adjustment on the carriage? I didn't see. That's what I'm gonna check. I didn't see any at all, because it's basically like. Okay, we'll look at it after this. Let me giveaway. All right. Thank you everyone for entering into today's giveaway. Thank you to Polymaker for letting us do these giveaways. They did, nothing changed from as far as like if you win, the process is the same, but I think they updated links. So I apologize to last week's winner when I was running a little bit late on getting the link out, and then the usual method didn't work, and I reached out to them. They gave me new links. So for anyone that wins, you will receive an email from me either this evening or tomorrow. Because of swim and irrigation stuff, it might be tomorrow, but you receive an email from me that will have a unique ID and a link that you'll just need to enter in to claim your gift card. And then once you enter it in, I believe there's still a process of Polymaker basically approving it and then sending it over. So yeah, massive thank you to Polymaker. If you do want to support the channel, you need to pick up some filament. There's a link in the description to Polymaker's website, and any purchase does support the channel. As always, thank you to everyone that is using the links. I've seen quite a few coming in, and it does help. Like, even if it's a small order, it really does help over time. So thank you to everyone. All right, on that note, I said that this week I would let you guys decide the number that we're going to be shuffling. So how many times are we shuffling this week? I think I went with 32 weeks in a row, and someone gave me crap for it. We got 42s, got a couple 7s, a couple 6s. Jose is spamming 6. I keep seeing 6s because Jose, $1 million. We'll do 6 today. We won't do 6 next week. We'll do 6 today. Okay. Good luck, everybody. In 3, nice, 2, 1, here we go. Birdman, you are the winner. I feel like you hacked it. Your initial, I was watching your numbers in chat, and you changed it. I think your initial one was like 2 or something like that, and then you changed it to 6, and you ended up winning on 6. So I don't know if you sensed something that we didn't, but massive congratulations to you. And like I said, I will send you an email, but just bear with me. Because after this I'm going to swim and then going to irrigation mode, it'll be either this evening, or I'll definitely get it to you by tomorrow. So congratulations. Clown, you forgot to enter. I mentioned it a bunch of times. Yeah, congratulations for winning this week, and thank you all for entering. And one more time, just thank you to Polymaker for letting us give away gift cards because it's freaking cool and they definitely don't have to, so it's certainly appreciated. So let's pull things off here. But yeah, I don't think there's much room. Oops, I don't think there's much room for play. This is, so this blue CNC part back here is bolted in right here, and it's not a slot. It's, you know, tapped and threaded CNC part. And then this is the same going into here. There's not really any play for that. It all pretty much, I don't see how there could be play there. It's crooked already when out of the motor coupler, it seems. Hold on, I can't align it with that. Can I align it with this section? Yeah, it looks pretty dang straight to me. I don't see any big obvious gaps. I don't think it's the motor. And this is just a big hole opening. So it doesn't go into anything with this CNC bracket. Basically, the only things it's passing through is through the coupling and through this guy. That's it. So there must be something, like this is not perfectly aligned somehow. So I wonder if, is there any play with this guy? There we have it. This is where the play is. I have a feeling this is it. I mean, you can see that, right? So if I tighten it like that versus like that, I mean, that's a pretty substantial amount of shift. I bet you that's what it is. Let's get this, let's get the base piece back on. If that's the case, I'm gonna undo all of these and probably, so I'll probably undo all of them, move the carriages up to the highest point I can possibly get them. That's left to right, not front to back. No, I'm left to right was the issue though, Tuxedo. The front to back, okay, so the front to back that you're describing, yes, was also an issue as far as this back extrusion, but the lead screw, I'm saying that the coupling is turning off center. Did you check if the surface of the motor is mounting? Yeah, I think here, let's try what I'm saying right now and just see. I think it'll make more sense. But yeah, what you're saying is not wrong, Tuxedo, regarding like when I moved the extrusion forward. That is correct. But what I'm saying is, like, for the thing we were seeing where it was basically at an angle left to right, I think it's because of that nut has play in it. Okay, let's not use that. That's stupid. I don't know why I'm using that ball head. Okay, so let's tighten this. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What you just said, Zadi, is exactly what I'm thinking about doing. Is basically putting the rail through these things, moving the carriage to the top, and then tightening it down. So oh, come on, lead screw. Doesn't want to go down now. What's going on? Maybe some punches. No. We're not punching. No punchies. Yeah, this is a lot of left and right play. A lot of left and right play. No, I appreciate coupler are with 1 screw or 2. The coupler is with 2 screws. Yeah, two screws. There's one on the flat part of the motor shaft and whatnot. Terminally, I always appreciate the feedback, man. There's lots of things that I miss and great ideas I get from chat all the time on builds. Okay. So how is this looking now? Oops, let me move this cable. It's definitely looking better to me. I still can adjust it. So like, let's see. It's really tricky to get you guys centered. This is also a bit of a wide angle lens. Oops, that's way off. Okay, there we go. So I'm not in front of it anymore, but I'm telling you that right now, from what I see, this looks better. I mean, oops. I definitely think this looks better. Wait, what do you mean it's bent? I rolled it on the surface. I don't think it's bent. I'm telling you that looks much better to me. I'm not looking at it dead on right now, but if this is how it had looked originally, I don't think I would have said anything. I don't think I would have called it out. I think it's because I clamped this down onto here before installing this, assuming because it was going in a CNC part that it would just align perfectly. But what I didn't take into consideration was that there could be slop in the plastic part. Yeah, it's definitely, it's way better than it was. So I need to do that. I think I need to go back and do that for all of them. I have a feeling that when I installed, I don't know if you remember, but one of the other couplings also had a slight issue with fitting in, and I think it was probably also because I had that nut pre-tightened before I did that. It looked very wobbly as it was rotating as you were moving down. Oh, that makes sense though, because it wasn't constricted. Like it, yeah, that's just because it has a lot of play. I'm sure it was just because I was doing that. There's a lot of play in this printed part, or not printed, this bracket up here, which will stop once I tighten it down. I just haven't tightened it down. But yeah, that looks crazy. What do you mean once again Daniel's fault? Hey man, I installed this. Believe it or not, I followed instructions. I installed this in the exact order of operations. I don't think there was any mention of, let me double check. Let me see, maybe I missed it. Maybe it said don't fully tighten. Let's see. I'm quite curious. Nope, that's maintenance stuff. Let's just see. Okay, so this is okay. Fix an anti-backlash nut onto each of the Z carriages as shown. Match the orientation. Place the grub screw to one side for now. So, yeah, there's no mention of like just, loosely tighten because we're going to secure it. So, that's feedback from the manual. It needs to be called out much more. Yeah, no, I agree, 100%. Yep. The screw should be tightened after in the lead screw. That's part of why I guess it's not why I build these things, but it's certainly helpful for the companies to get this feedback because that's totally what it was. I had tightened it favoring one side that was clearly not the correct side. And so in order for it to fit into the coupling, it had to be at a pretty, I say pretty extreme angle. It wasn't a pretty extreme angle, but at an angle, which we all saw, which as it went, it was amplified by probably a few millimeters, I would say. So, okay. I think we are going to call it. We didn't get as far as I had hoped today. I was thinking we'd get done with all the bed and then we would starting on the gantry. But the things I will do before next week's stream is those 3 anti-backlash nuts. I am going to loosen them all, align everything, tighten them down. I'll also put the grub screws in, basically to compress the anti-backlash nut. For anyone that watches next week and doesn't really know how these work, basically, there's going to be, in the lead screws, there's going to be some slop as it goes basically back and forth. And our goal is to eliminate that because it can create Z artifacting. So this is going to compress the top part of the anti-backlash nut and make it... Let's not lose this large set screw. I don't have more of. It's going to compress it and make it where there is no back and forth play or back and forth slop. However, as you're doing that, it's going to restrict the motion a bit more and more. So we're looking for a sweet spot of it still having relatively smooth, constricted motion, but not having that back and forth play. So I just want to at least mention that for anyone that maybe isn't familiar, that won't, like, if we don't cover that on stream. And so if I have that done, I'm also going to look at that back C extrusion. I might email them in addition just to see what they say. But so we'll be done with that. We'll be done. I'll be doing that. So yeah, we'll start off next week. I probably will. We've seen me peel a ton of these, so I'll very likely prep the bed as well. So I'll put the magnet on it. I'll put the silicone heater on it, and then we'll basically move on from there. I'll probably just show you. Yeah, we might just start with gantry next week. Grub. That sounds. Oh man, if the grub screw went missing and fell in my sandwich and I swallowed it, I would be so bummed. That would probably top my leaky irrigation. I would say eating a grub screw. Don't be me. I have a viewer who counts how much I drop stuff. Oh man. I'm pretty good, knock on wood, at not dropping too much stuff, but it depends on the stream, I suppose. All right, everybody, we will call it here. Thank you all for hanging out, and yeah, hopefully you all had a good time in your first week we're in May now. I said the wrong month at a meeting last week. That was interesting. And hopefully the first week of your May has been going really well. I'm hoping that next week I will have positive news for you regarding my irrigation, and we'll be ready to move on this. The only thing is, I mentioned next Thursday I'm going to Chicago with Aaron for a family member's wedding, so I'm going to have family over here, and I think that at least one of them is flying in on Wednesday, so keep a lookout in case stream time gets shuffled around. I still plan on streaming. It won't be a long stream. It'll be just like probably a regular 2 or 3 hour. I'll try to do 3 hours, but just keep a lookout because time might be different in case Aaron needs help with getting to the airport. Oh, I think they have a rental car. I'm just ranting at this point. We're going to stream next Wednesday. The time might be slightly different than normal. Anyways, thank you all for hanging out. Congratulations again to our winner. Thank you to our new members, our existing members, to all the gifted memberships and donations. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and just everyone chilling, cracking jokes, and giving me things to consider with this, because I am just one person, and yeah, I've built and played around with a lot of printers, but there's a lot of people in chat that have incredible ideas and like different things to look at, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even consider that. So as always, I appreciate you all. So have a wonderful week. I will catch you next time, and we will have a video on the main channel this week. I won't give any spoiler. It's on a filtration system that's pretty cool. That's the spoiler. All right, take care. Cheers. Bye.